Alright, think we're live. I think. If we're not, not much I can do about it. So we'll try. Let's get this MacBook fixed. If I can find the MacBook. What have I done with the MacBook? Hey MacBook, where are you? It's run off. Doesn't want to be fixed. Doesn't like the shower, maybe? Where the hell's the MacBook gone? I had it 10 seconds ago. Ah, here we go. Oh. Hey Jack, looks like you're first on board. Everyone else is asleep. But then again, this is the dead time of the day, so no great surprise. You're meant to be studying. What are you studying? Or what are you meant to be studying? Let's jump to overhead. Hey, Six Girls and Margarita. Computer science. Is it for school or college or university? Any particular topic? Algorithms, complexity, operating systems, graphics, processor design, memory management. Hey John Finn, hey Tony W, hey Greg. I see Europe's going to get a little quieter soon with the US shutdown on air travel. I noticed that they left the UK out of it. How convenient. Someone's going to come up with conspiracy theory to say that the Brexit... Holy shh. This is bad. I'm kind of scared about what this is because it's got a little bit of a yellowish tinge. That's disgusting. Vomit worthy. Ew. Alright. We're gonna go into danger mode now. Assume the worst. Oh, that's disgusting. University, double major in software development, data science, a little bit of everything. Do not like this. Okay, let's get a sample and we'll taste it. Well, the battery's cactus. It's definitely yellowish. What the hell? People send me stuff without warning me about what kind of flippin' liquid. It's just slightly gelatinous, I think. Gross. There's no way the computer can be in any sort of a good condition at this point. I don't think it's urine. It doesn't have that punchy in the face ammonia smell or anything like that. But I also don't know what the hell it is. Could be the Great Sea Virus for all we know. Nope. 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 I am going to close this one up and send it back. I'm not touching that. The lack of telling me what the hell it is scores you an immediate do not fix. I'm sorry, but yeah, when it comes to liquids, at least give me some idea what I'm dealing with. It could be orange juice for all I know, but I just don't know. Yeah, that that's thrown me off quite a bit actually. Completely stole my funk. Yeah, I will, Greg. As soon as I'm the gloves will be changed, everything will be changed once I've finished with this. But yeah, this is going straight back to where it came from. Return to whence you came. You shall not pass. Richard Bicker, yeah, the 11 inches, they do feel a bit toyish, don't they? Okay, even that's gonna have to be redone. Right, you get bagged as well. I mean, that's, yeah, it's a bunch of money I just lost, but I'm not taking that. No thanks. Innocent bystander, maybe, but just no, no, just no. I can, yeah, accept a certain degree of liquid damage, but that was unpleasant. Okay, what have I got next? Good thing I've got a few MacBooks. That's the nice thing when you do have a pretty reasonable number of machines on hand, you can start just tossing away the ones that you don't want to deal with. Innocent bystander, you sent me an email. What was your email address, by the way? I'll have to check. When did you send it? Just now? I'll probably find out innocent bystander is the person who actually sent me the laptop. Is that you, Ben? Send it to Lewis. Haha, yeah. 30 minutes ago, anti-competition. Anti-competition. Gmail. Is that rubbers? Okay. Alright. Now the trouble is though, Australia's ACCC doesn't have a lot of teeth. I mean, they're pretty much they're there for show and nothing much else. They rarely get any sort of judgments in their favour. Important ones at that. I mean, it'd be great if they enforce that, but Apple would probably sooner just say, get stuffed and stop supplying Australia with anything before um, before actually relinquishing to the ACCC. I mean, hey, I hope it actually works out. That'd be great. But I don't have the greatest of hopes. But I mean, I completely believe you in the sense that, yeah, that would be illegal sort of thing. But there's so many things that these corporations get away with that are technically illegal, but you just can't do squat. Okay, so this is a no-go case. Station 240. Well, I've got the bigger ultrasonic cleaner now, but I mean, this still won't save the screen. No, I'm just not interested in it. So it's one of those ones that will probably turn out to be a major disaster anyway. You're going to think you get something cleaned up, fixed up the main board or whatever, and something else comes along. It's just going to be layer upon layer of issues. That's cool stickers. Right, well, I'll just pop this open and see what the USB-C says to me. Well, we've got 20 volts. Let's see if anything comes up. Yeah, exactly, Station. Yeah, Australia's market's just too small. I mean, we're barely even New York State, so we can be ignored on whim. Yeah, I saw that they had coronavirus. What the hell? This is booting. Or maybe the problem is it's really slow or something. Yeah, it's a UK or something keyboard. Well, it looks like it's gonna be one of these fun days, is it? Yeah, it's booting. Battery's hopeless, but it's booting. Interesting, it just restarted itself then. 4246. Time for me to check my. Good. 4246. Alright. Well, supposedly they checked it with quite a few things and it didn't come up, so we have another one of those machines whereby it wasn't working when they sent it and now it is working. Hey Pedro. Thought I saw a boot loop. Yeah. I guess we'll just take it out. Oh, I hate these ones. Oh well. Can't complain. Can't. Well, you can actually. You can also spray spittle everywhere. Oh, come on, where's my TX4? There you go. What am I doing? Disconnect the battery first. Oh no, it wasn't boot looping because I told to shut down. So unless you mean it started up again. But you can't put a 5 in a 4. Yes, vibrational transit repair. Cousin of the percussive maintenance system. So many damn screws. It's bad enough that these are more complicated to repair, let alone the fact that they just try to inundate you with these excessive screws. Oh, come on. It's always fun when you get a screw that's in on the last 1/10 of the thread just holding on, and you just can't seem to get it to unlatch. Okay, where's my glasses? Hey DefPom, how's it going? How would you tackle diagnosing a device you can't get a schematic for and has no corrosion signs of anything blown? Yeah, that's not really a huge amount of fun. I guess you just have to go by behavioural changes. Is it a PC or some sort of random piece of equipment? Often the ideal solution for those things is to hand it back to them and say, have a nice day. But I know there are times where you do want to try. Ah, lousy pull tabs that just come straight off. So how do they expect you to get that out? Hey Jane Zimmy. That's another way, yeah, Richard. To get one that works and compare. Do diode mode measurements. Yep, pull tab just comes straight out of that one too. Let's see. This model in particular seems to be the worst for the number of screws and things like that. The 15 inch isn't quite so bad, it seems. But then again, maybe I'm just more used to the 15 inch. And then all these, particularly for a first time removal, all these little flexes that are bonded to the damn board. Bit of alcohol and a little Slim Jim gets those off. So far I'm not really seeing any obvious signs, which is a bad thing. And we're still going to get these flexes out. Right, that one's done. That one's done. Might be ready to come out now. Nope, still got that one on the side. Another one where the pull tab just tears clean off. And we're free, finally. Can't see anything obvious on the top side. Yeah, this one's got me worried. Ah, Jesus, Anel's here. Hello, Anel. How are you, Anel? Are you well today? Have you achieved your quota of CPU destructions today? Hey, Prater. Alright, let's have a look. See if we can find anything that's going to be a smoking gun, or whether we're just going to have some sort of smouldering stack of nothing. There's a teeny tiny bit of corrosion on that, but nothing obvious. .239 board. I am starting to wonder whether it's just more productive for me to, if I don't find a smoking gun within the first 10 minutes, to just simply go, I'm sorry, I'm not capable enough to repair this. So we've got a little bit of corrosion again on the other hall sensor. But again, I just can't. Oh, some more crustiness after our snack from last night. And I love this sort of design thing where they put the parts at a really odd angle. And so why couldn't you lay that straight? Yeah. I'm sure someone was losing sleep over that. There's a fair bit of fluff and junk around this. But again, nothing that makes me say you're at fault. You're still back at 360, Richard. That's no good. And we are getting 20 volts, and it is booting, all that sort of stuff. But there's a degree of, I want to say intimacy, but it's actually intermittency. And I've got to find out why. Man. Cannot feel like I'm getting a focus today. Maybe it's the keyboard. Yeah, we're going to struggle here. This one is not giving us any answers at all. It's like, hi, I'm perfect and pristine. Damn. Why is it so hot in this little village? Hey Patrick, New Jersey. Oh, welcome. Louise, no real symptoms. I mean, I just booted the thing and it ran, so that just makes it worse. Which is why I'm wondering whether it's just something like a keyboard connector, or there's little bits of crusty food in here, but nothing that would normally say I am at fault. About the worst bit is this. Maybe there's some corrosion hanging around the edges. It's just more gummy. And even that little bit in the middle there that you think for a moment is corrosion is not. It's just a piece of junk. Nope. Intermittent ones suck. There's really just nothing to go on this. Could it have simply been a bad connection? Hey, Ruggers. Defcom, I'm not even sure I would bother ultrasonicking, to be honest. It's that subtle. I cannot find any real justifiable reason to ultrasonic that board. It looks nothing like it needs it. Unless I was saying maybe the trackpad's intermittent. I basically just can't even find any signs of liquid damage at all, or anything. Very frustrating. I can have a look at the on-off switch, maybe that might reveal something. Might just take this off first. There may be log reports that could give information, but tested without battery and reset SMC. No GYFH. I've got the right board, haven't I? Famous last words. Yep, it's the right one. The more I look at it, the more I'm thinking it could have just been a badly plugged down connector. Could be wrong. Okay, these are fun. Big thing with these is to not tear the damn cable. Although the 17, this one isn't quite so bad, but on the 15 inch, when they have a cable and it loops back, it's fairly prone to being torn. Can't really fault that. That's looking perfectly good. Yep. Well, so much for that. It was worth checking though. Just need a small piece of Captain tape. Because if I try to close it down while it's not screwed in, it will actually probably step out slightly, and then the closing of the screen will jam it slightly edgewise and result in either a broken button or a broken screen. But by putting a piece of Captain tape on it stops that risk. So far, we're attending the world's most boring stream. Glasses. Well, I'll set this one aside for half a day or a day. I'll have a look at it again tonight, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be just one of those ones where I, without it significantly notifying me of a fault, there's nothing much I can do. It's just a waste of time. And it's frustrating for the person who sends it in, of course, because they're like, well, it definitely is failing because I wouldn't send it in if it wasn't failing. I know what else we can check. I best do that now. And that, of course, is the USB-C flexes. These side ones, it's possible that maybe they got damaged, and but still they try all sorts of things. Make sure that clicks. Okay, it clicks, it's good. Yeah, no crustiness there. I do hope they tried multiple USB-C chargers and cables. Hey, Catherine. I'd rather this boring stream over trying to figure out tail recursion. Oh, what's wrong with tail recursion? I mean, apart from the fact that it's a great big fat resource hog. Yep, that looks perfectly good too. I mean, yeah, it's got normal wear and tear on it, but nothing really. See if there's any scoring or marking on the flexes. Nothing. No, this one's got me stumped. Can't fix what isn't broken. At least not behaving so. So we'll just have to find another computer to fix. Am I doing another stream tonight? Hard to say. Let's see, what's the time now anyway? 2 o'clock. We've got about half an hour or an hour before I need to step out of here and go do the daily mailroom sort of phase. Pack things up, get them ready to ship out. Oh, where's my pen? Ballpoint pen, please. How can you put a minimum stress on one of these machines to bring on the failure? I can run something like, what do you call it? Valley, and shake it around, twist it a little bit, just things like that. No apparent fault. No obvious liquid damage. Boots. Very frustrating. And like I said, frustrating for the person too. Poop. Oh, I'm out of slots. I need more slots. Yeah, you're just going to sit up here. We'll finish putting this thing back together. This is one of the 1466s we fixed up last night. It's booting and everything, but then it still would not consistently give me the green light or the orange, and it turns out there was corrosion on the one wire parts of the DCM board, so I just had to fix that up. It's all good now. Now it works as it should. God damn you, Apple. Why'd you have to make this such a cranky little spot to put things in? And of course, as always, when you put these DCM boards for the 1466, 2012 or later, or just later, you gotta remember to tuck the camera cable in underneath. Hey. Yes, my love.
This is the leftover dinner from last night. Can I have it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Do you want to buy it?
No, I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you doing here?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just get coffee and toast again later.
Sure you don't want to buy it?
I'm sure. You can eat your own luxury food.
But here.
You're playing it. Alright. Get the microphone out of the way. Thank you, my love. It tastes, it tastes tastier this day.
Do you want me to save it?
No. Creamy chicken, pasta and mushroom, bacon. Homemade. And yesterday when I was in Townsville, bought 4 litres of fresh cream. And of that, probably 3/4 of it will get converted into homemade butter. It's certainly very tasty. It actually tastes a lot better this today. I think because what happened is last night it was a little bit, it hadn't been reduced enough, the sauce. But with it resting with the pasta effectively did the reduction just through absorption. And so now the sauce has a stronger flavour. It's also rounded out, of course. It's a good mix. Get over that spike. Is it good? Yeah, you can see where I had to fix up the one wire parts. Yeah, I know, there's a bit of a Hershey's kiss there, but it's not a drama. Not in that case. I wasn't using hot air on it. I was just using the tip of the soldering iron. Because if I use hot air on it, it just melts out that speaker connector. Alright, now we should be good. Hey Zaki. Hey Christian. Q's, I haven't had too many troubles, certainly not domestically. Internationally, it's a bit sluggish, but that was to be expected. No great surprise there. But China does seem to still be sending stuff out. Like, I'm still getting donor boards and parts arriving. It is sluggish. Let's see if it behaves now. Basically, I just want to make sure I am getting green light on this. Yeah, straight away green light, so that's good. Whereas before I was not getting that. I'll let it bong and boot up just to verify. Is that bong? Yeah, Jack, that's pretty true. I don't really tend to make these videos for the sake of education. I mean, it's a secondary or maybe even a tertiary effect. It's more like, come and have some company, and that's about it. Well, that's all good. Trackpad works. 100% on the battery. It's showing charge, so no dramas there. So I will at least get some money for that, which will make up for the loss of money. I shouldn't call it loss of money, but for the lack of getting money from that unknown liquid damage horror fest. I think I should make it a rule for liquid damage ones that are that bad. They should always be in a big fat zippy bag. I understand if it's coming directly from a client, they're not going to know how bad it is inside. But from other stores, I expect it to be baggied up. Okay, so you are now capable of being returned to the outgoing queue. Huzzah! Need a few more of those today. Let's see, what else have I got? Looks like I've got a big fat 1398 here. May as well have a look at that. You can be a little more casual with these. I'm just going to have to take the... Just have to take the back panel off first. It's got a sticker on it that I don't want being shown. Not because I personally care, but I'm just trying to be respectful to the places that send me this stuff. Yeah, I don't want them having their details thrown around willy-nilly. I mean, mistakes get made occasionally, you know, accident slip-ups and things like that, but you try your best to contain what you can. So, 4259. 4259, looping no boot. Alright, so it's a resetting. Maybe we've got a short circuit somewhere. Need to get ourselves a sticker. Hey MD. Like I said, mistakes do occasionally happen, but overall I try my best to... Wow. That's, I suspect they disconnected that, and then just when they put the lid back on it, push down on it. Okay. Sort of normal level of grunge in here. Let's plug it up to MagSafe 2, see what happens. Yeah, we've got an immediate boot and charge. Not charge. It could be just a bad battery on this one. I've had it before where a bad battery causes them to keep boot looping. Yeah, boot's just fine. Dandy fine here. This is British. Okay, let's try to plug that battery and see what happens. I think that's when I finally decided I had to start replacing batteries, as I had a couple of jobs previously where they would do this strange behavior, and then it was at that point that the battery was the culprit. All the cells are really good. Let's have a look at the electronics underneath. Oh, that, there you go. Fixed now. This is in diode mode. Lethal One, you've been a jerk. Don't make me get Lewis to fire you again. Out of a cannon into the sun. Yeah, doesn't seem upset or anything, but yeah, well. Oh shit, Lewis is here. Mr. Rossman, aren't you supposed to be out there saving the world from the tyranny of right to repair? Yeah, let's see if we get a boot loop now. If this boot's just fine, then I'm going to get upset. It's charging, it's up. 4 amps. That's actually pretty hefty for this. 7%. Lewis made me a job offer. What job offer? Yeah, Lewis, I don't know why you bother with email. Oh, we're looking to hire someone new. How do you feel about coming to this beautiful city? No, you called New York a beautiful city. That pretty much disqualifies you straight away. Still at 4 amps. Lewis, my full potential can only be achieved by not attending New York. If I attend to New York, it's going to be like cutting my hair off and I'll lose all my power. And I'll just become a stupid fangirl dancing around you with my pigtails screaming, "Oh, Lewis!" And yeah, then it'll be over, our relationship will be doomed. And I'll have to come back to Australia with all of my credibility shredded. Yeah, this is running actually pretty high. I mean, 4 amps, is that pretty normal? Better to die of coronavirus in New York than to die in a fire in Australia. Australia is constantly on fire, so I don't see your point. I believe you will probably find more than enough people over there in your home country to fulfill your repair requirements. 3.94.5 hour. Strange, I've never seen it run that high, but then again, I've never had a battery this drained down to 1%. So what's the deal? This is another. I'm just getting duds today. Looping, no boot. Alright. Well, that being the case, I will remove the board and see if there is something innocuous on the other side. Someone's yelling, what the? I hate this type of crossover cable. So why did they put the little wire traps on it, really? Besides, Lewis, at the rate you're going with that new store, you should be able to just afford to fly over here and meet me. Turn up one day, unannounced, like an annoying customer. Bring me a yogurt-soaked MacBook, maybe a 1425, and beg and plead for me to fix it. I'm still going to take the board out, just in case there is some random corrosion lurking on the other side that the vibration of transit has knocked it loose. Lewis, have you got the A5000 or A5100 Sony cam? Because this one up here I want to replace with something better. Even though it's got the technical resolution, it really just, I can't get the clarity out of it. It's already got that. I was thinking of getting a Logitech Brio, which is the 4K one, but I have a feeling I'll probably just be wasting my money because the optics on it are still so small. Alright, let's get this out of here. 10 blade. Someone's been watching medical shows. The downside of getting a better overhead camera is I'll probably actually finally have to get an HDMI converter. Hey Carl. Stuart, I'm presuming you mean Lewis survives Australia. I'm sure Lewis would survive Australia. He's from the Northern Hemisphere. They're supposed to be superior to us. We're just the low-life convict scum. Wow, see, I can't even get a fan out. Still a Sony NEX EA50 on eBay for 800 now. That's probably a little rich for my liking. I was kind of hoping to not breach the $500 barrier, which probably puts that Sony out of range. I don't know, I just want something that's better because, you know, like when you look at Lewis's current setup, when you look at the board, you can feel that there is the clarity in the high definition transmission. And it's not because I've got a bad bit rate here or anything, because, you know, I've got, well, I can go up to 10 megabit a second if I want it, easy. Not that YouTube likes it, but Lewis can't handle cockroaches. Imagine 12-inch spiders in Australia. You seriously? You can't handle cockroaches? Poor bastard. I had to put out a spider this morning. It was probably only about, yeah, palm size. I think he became a victim of a wasp attack because he wasn't really going anywhere. He's been hanging around in the house for quite a while, just literally hanging on the ceiling. And we expect that, you know, they just do their thing. And then this morning he was down in a new location which I wasn't expecting because it was exposed. And I actually thought it was just the carapace. I thought he'd shed and left behind, yeah, carapace, which is normal. And I went to go pick it up, only to find it moved, and I was like, oh no, that's the actual spider. That's not his exoskeleton. Yet. Anyway, so picked him up, took him outside. I have a feeling he's not going to survive. It's pretty normal. Spiders have, in general, a very terrible life. For as much as we fear them, they actually get the wrong end of the stick from almost everything else in the kingdom. I'm sure there was some convicts that migrated up to Queensland. Maybe because they were just drunk and didn't know where they were walking. Forgot to stop at the end of New South Wales. Well, yeah, I mean, they're a successful species, but they do really... The way they meet their end, more often than not, is grisly to say the least. I think the worst is perhaps when they get attacked by the wasps and become living hosts for the wasp babies. I mean, that's aliens right there. It's like, no thanks. Yeah, I am actually born in South Australia. So that is true. Oh, crikey. Way to ruin my perfectly good... And do you know if Lewis got the compact 0.3 adapter for his microscope yet? The one that I've been telling him about for ages and he never... Okay, yeah, we do have junk and corrosion here on the ISL 95825. So it was good of me to pull this apart. Which is why I pulled apart the other one, the 707, because I was like, well, you know, this particular person that sends me stuff, they're quite good at triaging things, so if they send it to me, it generally has been playing up. Which is why I will actually take the extra time to pull the board out to have a check over. So we've got one spot there which could be causing the grief. There's a bit of corrosion under there too. Not bad, but that will just get cleaned up. There's a bit more there. So yeah, this is stuff that comes good when it's been shipped. The corrosion gets cracked a little bit, the board shifts a little bit, it starts working. I don't know if that was I think that's just a USB or DisplayPort mux, I think. I don't know. Just because I write the Boardview software doesn't mean I know anything about what boards I'm dealing with. 3662. Didn't I have one of these? Yeah, I had one of these the other week. Okay, it's these 3210, 3310. Yeah, they're muxes for the Thunderbolt. That chip, oh yeah, CD3211s, yeah. On the A1466s, that can often be a real troublemaker. And it can often do it without having any outwardly physical issues. Okay, so we do have that. We'll just double check what that is doing. CPU VCC regulator. Oh boy. Let's have a look at what's gotten crusty down there. So we've got this resistor here, 7236. Alright, you're just a temperature sensor. Bias. Yeah, you're just there for biasing purposes. And then we have this inner cluster here. Let's say you're a cap. Try this resistor. You're also NTC. Okay, yep, that's still part of the biasing network. Oh, look at that. Hello. You almost look like a termite. A transparent termite at that. He's playing Minecraft. And he's gone. Second from the bottom. 7250. What? That's a no stuff. Oh, right. 2, 3, 4. Fifth one from the top. 1, 2, 3. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You say C70? Honestly, you look like a resistor. Oh no, now you look like a capacitor. Fair enough. So maybe the problem is that the biasing of the temperature sensor is botched up and it's causing it to just stay shut down. Hey, where'd he go? There he is. What you looking for, buddy? Amazing, just like completely clear. Well, almost. And that's the maximum of my magnification, unfortunately. Let's see, it's like watching me run around on Diablo. Maybe he's trying to find a dark spot and I just keep moving the light into his life. So yeah, well, that's enough corrosion to cause some degree of instability, so I'm almost willing to consider that a smoking gun. Almost. Especially considering it has booted just fine. Level of the top side as well, since we haven't had a look at that yet. But that sort of level of corrosion, and it does feel like the sort of thing that would be affected by the machine going through transit. Yeah, bloody geckos. They're not Australian native geckos. They're Asian geckos, as we call them. Oh, there's a bit of corrosion there, actually. That's actually comparatively nasty. What do you do? I think you're more to do with the audio circuit. Audio, yeah, it's nothing much. It certainly wouldn't be causing the intermittent issues, but it is something to replace. Jim, I haven't actually had a chance to get around and put that thing up in the workshop yet. It's still sitting in my reception room, waiting for me to unleash it. Frustrating, I know, because you've sent it to me and you're like, well, you've got it, come on, use it. Now, I have to be careful here because I could easily melt the jack. We don't want that. Hey, Q's, well, thank you very much for dropping in. What bird are we looking at? Oh, the bin chicken. Oh, yeah. Good old ibis. Poor maligned bin chicken. Yeah, you're just gonna come straight off, aren't you? No, you're not. It's gonna pretend to me that it's gonna come straight off, but what will actually happen is it'll tear the pads off. due to its position, size, and all those other random lies that I'm going to make up, I'm going to switch over to the micro pencil. No burning my hand today on that, but I might burn the carpet. Hi Kratos. Lung saver, turn on. Come on, get off your mangy bugger. There we go. Strictly speaking, I could probably just leave that off. Yeah, so what actually is it? It's a 100 picofarad or 0.1 nanofarad, 25 volt, 201. Let's see if I've got one of those. Probably don't. 1 microfarad, 0.1 microfarad, but we want 0.1 nanofarad. 0.1 microfarad. 4.7 picofarad. Off the wrong end there. 0.1. No. New. Okay, we're just gonna have to steal it from another board. No biggie. Well, I've got one board here. It looks like some SOB has already taken apart everything around there, but we do have that capacitor there, so it's good. It is a bit of a weird thing how watching other people do stuff can be soothing. So that today I was working on finding a SM6 S600G, nothing. When I found it, the extension didn't work in open Boardview. ASMR Cambia is, which extension was it? Was that PCB one? It's pretty rare to find actually files for phones as it is. There are the pads PCB files, and then there are now the BVRE files. But still pretty much far and few between. Ah, I got this orientated wrong. The only way to do this is in the vertical orientation. And we're good. Hey Ed, how's it going? You pulling a sad face for any reason? These ones we can hot air off. Found these little rubber things to be amazingly tough. I never know whether I should try and take them. Yeah. Damn it, I shouldn't have done that. Well, I can stick that back down. But I shouldn't have pulled it off. S3 and CTS. Alright, I gotta admit, I'm not sure about those ones. If you open it up in an editor, is it plain text or is it all just binary gobbledygook? Maybe you should just email it to me and I'll have a look for you. It's alright, Ed. It was a bit of an unusual time for me to be doing this anyway. Yeah, it looks like we've got a trace that's almost cut there, or is it maybe it's just corrosion hiding it? No, it's actually, crikey, I'm already over schedule now. Now I'm going to be in trouble. It's almost 3 o'clock right now. I'm supposed to be in the mail room packing up things so that people can get their packages that they're paid for. Instead, I'm sitting here appealing to the audience for probably 10 cents of AdSense. Yeah. Someone doesn't have their priorities right. That would be me. Hey Max, how's it? I've still got my... Oh well. Oh, stole that. Just gonna put that one back from where it came. And I know it's 2 across, not just the one. There we go. Alright, let's migrate parts from a donor over to this one. Hopefully this one isn't too butchered. As I said, hopefully this one isn't too butchered. It looks worse than what it is. There's no reason we can't use those parts. So we'll take this one first. I know it looks really shonky right now, but once we've got all the parts across and they're tacked down, we can then reflow it again and make it look pretty. Right now, our key concern is just getting the parts across. This thing's holding a lot of latent heat. Oh, squeaky. One of the projects I never really ended up doing was to replace the boom arms on these microscopes with something that is of better quality. Just even ordinary stainless steel would have worked better than this stuff that they supply it with. Still not perfect, but it'll do. Hey Rob Brown, how's it going? That end looks a little dodgy to me. And there was just that little bit of corrosion on the mucks that we had to look at again. I'm trying to decide whether that has etched its way under the chip or not. I don't really think it has. I'll just give it a bit of a flux and boil. And maybe a little more. Breathing, so I guess yeah, that's a pretty decent start. Alright. Oh. We'll scratch that back. Yeah, fixed. Ultrasonic will catch that one. Alright, and at this point, basically, this will go through the ultrasonic. They'll pick up any of the other daggy bits of corrosion that might be hanging around. And then this will just have to go into the whole statistical reduction probability testing process. We just keep running it until we feel like, okay, we are now at the point where it's most likely that it will not fail anymore. And that usually happens just before it does fail, particularly once you give it back to the customer. Okay, I'm just going to put the chipmunk in and verify that we do still have functionality. Hey Richard. Hey IFCat. We just want to wait till we get a green light. And then at least we know things are still running. Okay, that's good. Okie doke. Alright, well, we'll have to leave it at that. I know it's a bit short notice and stuff like that, but I do have to go get the packaging done because otherwise people will get upset, and I totally understand that because I get extremely frustrated when I paid for something and the people take their time delivering it. So, yeah, no cameras in the delivery room, but I'll be back later maybe. Thank you, Margarita Doctor 2, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, you take care.